Welcome to Pull the Pin Already War Room. And of course, I'm Jim. And with me here is Nate.
As usual.
And that's it. Yeah, what a surprise. A lot of guys with a lot of opinions, but none of them want to come on and share them. Weird.
Keyboard warriors.
And weird. And speaking of keyboard warriors, Nate, I don't know how you've been, but I had barged my way into a conversation that Mike was having. And seemed to like a back and forth with Mike and Paul. We all remember Paul and another guy, and yet, yeah, here we are.
Without them,
Yeah. So I don't know.
they have other obligations, Jim.
Yeah, I guess. I'm sure they're yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, so we've got some headlines to get to.
I love this part of the day.
And there, believe me, there's a lot of headlines.
And I haven't been privy to these headlines this week, so I have no idea what you're showing. So I have no clue to research anything.
I'm sure you know about all of them. Because actually, I'm going to give you the first one, and it's going to tie right in the second one. So we might not even discuss that. So Russia threatens $300 a barrel of oil, right?
Oh.
But before you say anything, that doesn't matter. Because Biden announces a ban on U.S. imports of Russian oil and gas.
That's where I was going to go. Who cares? We're not going to buy their oil. They can charge whatever they want. We're not buying it. And because we don't buy it, that $300 won't raise our gas prices.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Just the rest of the countries that are buying their gas, but not our gas prices.
Right. Well, apparently, what we were only getting like what 3% or something. I don't remember what they said.
I think it was like 6%. 6%.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of oil we were getting from Russia. So it really shouldn't affect us.
Where do we get most of our oil from?
Well, we could have been getting it from here, right here in America, like made in America. That could be it. We could be doing that actually. Probably Saudi Arabia, and I even heard that the president or acting president, whatever he is, went to Venezuela to try to get oil.
I was going to mention Venezuela. That would be a good place to get it from a communist country that,
well,
we don't like their policies, but let's take their oil.
Yeah, I mean, I just, like, I don't know, Nate, like, I don't want to step on a whole bunch of other headlines, but we're almost inevitably going to have to, because this is the thing that's going roundabout. Like, is this Green Deal push so desperately necessary? Like, is that really the agenda that's top priority? Climate change and the Green New Deal, and like, is that really? I mean,
yeah, I'm not a petroleum specialist, so I don't know how much oil or gas or whatever we have in our own country that we can actually get our own selves, that we need to depend on other countries to get our stuff. But it looks like we need to have green stuff. So we can wait. If we go green, is it going to be all American, or are we going to import that from somewhere else too?
Well, we'd have to, because how are you going to build this stuff? You're going to build it off a wind turbine? Like, who's building cars? You think green car manufacturers are using all green energy to build cars? Like, I mean,
exactly.
It's just stupidity, and I want to believe, Nate. I really want to believe that these people are just seriously out to preserve the earth. Because Ryan, I had on an episode when we talked about Ukraine just in general. He's a save the earth guy, and I'm all for it. Like, cut down trees, build new ones. I get it, plant new ones. You don't build trees, but you know what I mean. I'm all about preserving the earth, but the whole climate change, the world thing, like, do these people really, really believe, like, is that their biggest fear?
No, because I heard a former president bought waterfront property, so I guess climate change isn't really his biggest fear anymore. Now he's not in office.
Well, it wasn't just waterfront property. It wasn't like some little surf hut, right? I mean, it was a $1 million home on the water that supposedly is going to take over the land that's on there. So I just don't get it. I mean, I don't want to turn this into a little bitch fest, but I don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand what the mega push is. I mean, do they really believe the world's going to end in 10 years if we don't do something? They've been
And,
saying this stuff for years.
and you get all this green energy, but how is that green energy made? Is it all made by green products, or do we need to use gas and diesel and
Well,
machinery to produce green
well, I mean,
energy?
dude, do you remember when the wheel was invented? No, you weren't here, but you remember they had carts and buggies, you know what I mean? Did the first car that came out, like everybody had to throw their carts away and we all had to buy new cars? Like, I mean, are you like, so what? Let's go green. Let's start moving toward green. That's what I think we've been doing anyway. But they're trying to literally push it. In fact, here, this will get to the meat and potatoes of it. Here, the next headline: Buttigieg pitches buying wildly expensive electric vehicles to save money on gas. Like, this is where the mentality is, and I kind of get it now. You know, they literally think, oh, it's just easy. Everybody go out and buy a Tesla.
Yeah, but when you run out of electric, what are you going to do?
Well, where's the electric coming from?
Yeah, exactly.
Is there some wind turbine we're all plugging into? Like, what? And then when everybody has electric, where are we all going to charge at? Like, the
And then
infrastructure is not even there, dude.
yeah, and then like I see here, they go to the gas station and they have these electric charging stations. Are those free? Do they get free electric charges?
Some of them are, yeah, but where's that electricity coming from?
That gas station probably.
Somebody has to be paying for it. It has to be generated. I didn't see a
Yeah.
solar panel. I mean,
No.
so
And when you do road trips, say you go from you go from your state and you want to go visit Tennessee. Obviously, you have to stop to recharge your vehicle. I'm assuming. I don't know how long they last. But then how long do you have to sit and wait for your vehicle to charge to continue your
well,
trip?
let me tell you, because we did rent a hybrid and
That's not the
went
same.
from, well, but you have the option. We went from New Jersey to Louisiana and all excited to test out this hybrid to see how that electric charger worked. And once we got past a certain state, you couldn't find a charger. You couldn't find a charger anywhere. And when we found a charger, whenever we got back, you literally had to sit in the parking lot at least 2 hours
Is
to
that what
get
it
any
is?
worth of a charge. I mean, I think they have different machines, different graded machines, but yeah. And I
Yeah,
like,
so we go all electric. We can't make a 6 hour trip in 6 hours anymore. It's gonna take us at least eight because you guys have 2 hours just to. Was that 2 hours? Is that a full charge?
no, it didn't get a full
No.
charge.
So yeah, so it's
But I mean, think about it. Where are you stopping? Who's paying for these electric pumps? The
someone.
government?
I
Maybe,
guess.
maybe the stores that they're in front of Walmart or whatever, they're getting a supplement from the government.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
But so
know.
the taxpayer dollars are paying for the electricity that's going into the free electric cars. Like, or the cars aren't free, but free electricity going into cars. It's not free, you morons.
Nothing
So
is free.
so think about it. If we all have electric cars, well, number one, there ain't going to be enough pumps to charge them all. I mean, what are we going to have to do? Like, you know how like your phones now have the wireless charging? They're going to have just pads on the ground. You just park over them. The whole parking lot's made of a charger.
Well, I saw. I don't know how true this was, or it was a while ago, but I saw they were building roads for these cars so when they travel. Something with the road in the bottom of your car, it keeps it charged while it's going. I don't
My
know.
goodness. And I'm sure that's cheap.
That's well, that's part of the infrastructure bill, I'm sure.
Yeah. No wonder we need billions and trillions of dollars. Well, let's talk about these electric cars because check this out. This next headline: nickel price surge threatens automakers' electric vehicle plans. So
Is
now
that,
they're using gas to build the machines, but now they can't even build the cars because the nickel prices are so expensive.
what's nickel do? Is that part of the batteries?
I assume. I
Uh,
mean, well, even somebody had said we don't have enough battery capacity to hold all the green energy that the stupid little stuff we're doing now produces. You know, like the wind turbines. That's why if the wind doesn't blow. But even if it does blow, the batteries aren't good enough. I,
yeah. But it's gonna be it's okay, Jim. We're all gonna be green. The planet's gonna be better because we can't go anywhere. You can't leave your hometown.
I mean, just think about it. Like you have to wonder, like, what are these people? I mean, of all the things going on in the world right now, you're really pushing this climate change agenda, green thing. I mean, this is it. This is their plan.
They
This has
have to.
been their
They
plan.
can't jump off of it now.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, look at the price of gas. Now you really should get electric.
Right. Well, that's exactly what Buttigieg was saying. And it worked. It worked right in their favor, didn't it?
I wonder what he drives.
He probably has a $150,000 Tesla or something. And that's the sad part about all of it.
He probably drives a Ford F-350 diesel.
Right. To his private jet just to fly to one town over just to get to his office. Yeah, but see that summed it up, and see that's why when we looked at Buttigieg, this is what sums it up, dude. Think about all the people that are telling you, oh, just drive a Tesla. They're the same people that told you to learn to code because they have jobs, they have money, the gas price isn't hurting them. I mean, they're not the ones struggling. So they can afford this. They can afford a Tesla and then tell you, well, just get a Tesla. This is just I keep hearing it over and over again, and I don't really quite want to grasp, or can I grasp it? But they say it's not a double standard. They're calling it a hierarchy. There's a group of people who really think they're just smarter than the rest of us and deserve to rule over us because we're too stupid.
And we keep voting them in.
Yeah, because we are too stupid, right?
Yes, we are stupid. We keep voting them in.
Well, in all fairness, when you look at the voting them in thing, most people don't get involved in elections. Most people don't want to be bothered with it. Some people who would be, but they don't know who the candidates are. And I'm one of those. Like Mike liked to argue a lot about politics as usual, but I didn't follow politics back then. I didn't care about politics. I was probably like a regular person, until it hit my backyard, until something popped up that was just like, what?
Social media popped up. That's what popped up.
Sure.
And it's right there in your face constantly now.
And I'll even concede that I'm part of the problem. I wasn't involved in politics. I let the boiling pot burn all the frogs. You know what I mean? So I get it. But at the end of the day, I'm not far from normal. Most people don't participate. And these people know that. So they take advantage of that.
Yes.
I mean, but then on the other hand, 81 million people voted for Biden. Is that what it was? Well, let them pay the taxes. You know what I mean? Let them pay for the extra gas. Like, what are you talking about? And then you hear idiots on TV talking about, forget it. You know what? We're going to forget it because I'm going to move right to the next headline because it's right there. Stephen Colbert. He says skyrocketing gas prices are worth a clean conscience.
That dude's a moron to begin with, so.
Right. So, just the nerve of these people.
It's like I used to watch those late shows like David Letterman and Jay Leno.
Mm-hmm.
I have not watched a late show in a long time now because these guys are just morons.
And why though? Why? Dude? But why? Like let's just play a game here, right? Let's just say that was your third grade teacher. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, your third grade teacher, because a new principal comes into the school, is now all of a sudden some panic maniac that just can't stop talking about the principal. Like, why is that? Because Trump rocked everybody's world. Mike's, you're just Trump can't do no wrong. No, Trump is not the president I want in there. Believe me. He's not the man.
He rocked the Republicans worldwide. It was at it. So
everybody hates him. Everybody who's in there making money hates him. But you got to ask yourself, why? Why do they hate him? Why did one man come in and just disrupt everybody? And he's not even like you get a guy like Hitler or Stalin,
he's not establishment,
right? But normal people can't figure that out. They just hear the establishment saying Trump bad, and they're just like, oh, he's bad. I still hear people talking about racist and this and that, and like, dude, I just can't do it.
It is racist. All that's been president are old white men, and they voted an old white man in office again.
Right.
Come on. You scream racism. You scream, we need something different, and you still put an old white man in the office.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think the people screaming that, I don't know if they really had a choice either. But where are they now? Where are they? Are they sitting at home wishing gas was more expensive and they can get issued an electric car with a cell phone? We're going to get Obama cars soon, right?
Well, you ain't going to get a Joe Biden college payoff because he put that on hold for even longer.
Dude, I just like it's so frustrating because okay, maybe I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm not arguing that.
Maybe.
But sometimes, well, I mean, there might be a couple people I might compete with, but sometimes it's just like, I mean, if the Dilbert moment where you push when it says pull,
Yeah.
like we have a whole bunch of people pushing on that pull
And,
and
well,
trying to tell you you're the dumb one.
and it's going to stay that way because we've allowed the government to get so big and so powerful and corrupt left and right people's minds the way it's not going to change. Even the next president, it's not going to change this.
No. So what is civil war? Do we need to divide the country? I mean, not just metaphorically, just
25 states Republicans, 25 states Democrats.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I
mean,
say. And
I,
once you get tired of your political party, you get to pay a fee to cross into the other party's area if
yeah,
you want to come live like them.
yeah. I agree. Like I said, because look, I don't want to be killing American citizens. I don't want to go to a full blown civil war. I don't want to be killing my brothers. But I'm not like this is not fun anymore. It's not fun for me at all, and I don't want to live around these people. I can't even listen to them anymore. It's horrible. Like,
Besides Russia and Ukraine, I don't watch the news much anymore because all it is one way or the other. There's no middle ground between anything anymore. So besides Ukraine, because it's all over everywhere, I really don't watch the news at all because of
well,
that reason. It just gets you all fired up, and what are you gonna do about it?
but it ain't just news, Nate.
Go
It's
out and
it's
vote.
pop culture.
Go out and vote. Go out and
Look,
vote.
it's culture. It's Stephen Colbert. These idiots.
I
These
don't watch
people that
that.
are.
Like I said, I don't watch that. I don't watch that either.
Well, here's another one you probably don't watch. MSNBC's Joy Reid says people only care about Ukraine because it's a white Christian nation.
You even make war racist.
Do you see what I'm saying? Everything's about race to these people.
Oh,
They have to be a victim. There has to be a villain. There has to be, like, we don't even have to be involved in this war. But guess what? There's a lot coming out right now.
She said that, but we'll see if anything comes out. They'll cover it up and they'll hide it, and the news stations won't report it. But did you see? I don't know if it's one of your headlines or not. It should be because Biden was just in Texas, and he had 3 guys. I think they were all congressmen or some political
I
people
saw the
from
video.
Texas. 2 black guys and I don't know what the other guy is. We'll say Middle Eastern because of what Joe Biden said.
Yes.
He said we got 2 guys here. 2 of them look like they can play basketball, and one looks like they can bomb you.
Yeah. Yes.
Where's the outrage? That is racist as can be.
Dude,
Was it Islamophobia or whatever it's called?
there is a guy I saw on.
Crickets.
You don't watch any of these
No.
YouTubers, do you?
No.
There's a guy, Tim Pool. Now Tim Pool's an old skateboarder, right?
Tony
And
Hawk. Oh.
Yeah, but he's a skateboard kid. Wears the beanie hat, which is dumb, and I see other people wear it. But hey, whatever. Your head must be cold. But Tim Pool, I like watching him because he at least speaks the truth in my opinion. He's more left leaning. He might say center, but whatever. He's more left leaning to me. But he's literally got some guy on his show talking about this. This was written, dude. This stuff was written. This stuff was out there, and they're doing it, and everybody's like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, nothing.
Like the point he was getting at, he says, I don't remember it all because I'm obviously, like I said, I'm not smarter than anybody in this room. But the point is that the documentary narrative, whatever the paper, it was like the paper. It said that everything the left does needs to be praised, and everything the right does is wrong. Basically, that's the concept, regardless of what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the same thing, which we look at, oh, that's hypocrisy. But literally, they know if it's from the left, BLM, we can riot. We can tear down cities. That's okay. We can let criminals out. We can do that. But if it's on the right, we can't allow it at all.
Well, you see, Joe Biden supports security at the border for some odd reason, according to his State of the Union address. And he also supports funding the police and not defunding the police, according to his State of the Union address.
Right, because they think you're stupid. And you know what? People
That's
are
not
stupid.
what. Yes.
they're literally, people can't remember. He just said something against it. Like, I mean, are you kidding me? Like, that wasn't even long ago. Like, I go back to the example I think I was telling Ryan. I said he literally came on TV and said, we're going to implement sanctions to stop Russia from invading. 2 days later, Russia invades, and then he comes on TV and says, well, we didn't really think the sanctions were going to deter an invasion. I'm like, if your brain is 48 hours fried, then you need something else to do in your life. But
Yeah,
literally,
I realize. I see with that whole Russian Ukraine thing. I don't know how tight its hands are because there's no other country going in either.
well, let
You
me
know what I
tell you,
mean? So
I don't have these headlines because the news was coming out today, and I didn't see anything written solid worth it. But they were talking about propaganda because, right, we don't know what's real anymore, right? We don't know what's
right,
real on each
sure,
side.
yeah,
But they were talking about um, the labs. Did you hear about that?
the labs in the Ukraine.
Yes,
Yes,
the labs, and they sound very, very familiar to what Wuhan was doing, right? So, guess who's on the bandwagon saying, oh, well, it must be America? China. China's using this as a time to go and say, well, America is the one that's doing secret labs all over the country. So that's a perfect chance for them to say this is propaganda. But literally think about it. Remember weapons of mass destruction? You remember that? We had to
yep.
search for them. Well, could you imagine if US is sitting there like, oh, we got these labs and Russia's going in and Russia might find these labs and you know what I mean? Could you imagine? Of course, no, they can easily say it's Russian propaganda, right? Because it could be too, right? It could be
Chinese
propaganda.
China
But
propaganda.
but China's getting on it too. But China wants to get on it because they want to free themselves of Wuhan responsibility.
Yeah,
But
from their
in
own
the end of
labs.
the day, oh, I do have that headline. Look at that. At the end of the day, if we have biological labs in there that we know about, why doesn't anybody else know about it? So
Well,
if these
Victoria
places
Nuland knows
exist,
about it.
yeah, because she said that the U.S. is protecting biological research facilities in Ukraine.
Yeah, I don't know who Victoria Nuland is, but she knows they're there.
But it doesn't matter. Like, you don't believe it? It may be here, even if this news isn't right. Deleted web pages show Obama led an effort to build Ukrainian-based biolab handling especially dangerous pathogens. Like, this stuff is coming out, dude. Like, it doesn't surprise you, right? Because the government hides a lot of
Yeah,
crap.
yeah, of course. It's
Now
all.
you understand why there's such a push to defend Ukraine and keep Putin out. Now, whether Putin's right or wrong, whether you
There's
like Putin or not,
I don't see a big push to defend Ukraine because there's nobody in there defending Ukraine but Ukraine.
well, yeah, I mean, I guess, I guess what you're saying, yeah.
If you have those extremely, especially dangerous biopathogen labs that are there, maybe there are some spooks out there defending those certain areas. Who knows? But
Well,
but
I get the point. The point of the matter is,
you're not rushing any military country in there to defend Ukraine. No one's defending Ukraine right now except on paper and by words, not by action.
sure. Well, and you know what's even funny too? Another headline we got here. Look at this.
We're gonna burn through these, Jim.
Yeah, this is about it. Poland prepared to deploy all of its MiG-29 jets, place them at disposal of U.S.
So they're not
Did you
going to
see
be.
this?
Yeah, that's a whole logistical issue. They're trying to figure out how to get those MiGs into Ukraine without causing another.
Without them coming from NATO.
Hey, look, Ukrainian pilots. Here's some airplanes. Come over in Poland, steal them, and take them back to Ukraine.
Hey, we're just gonna look this way for a minute.
We didn't send Ukraine. The Ukrainian kids came in my country and they took my planes.
Yep. And I thought that's what the plan was.
Well, then the U.S. is supposed to replace those planes to Poland. The U.S. is supposed to give Poland new planes because Poland gave.
Why?
Because Poland can't afford their own planes.
We've been carrying these NATO people for so long, and what is it
NATO,
for?
we've been carrying the world for so
Well,
long.
okay, fair enough. Well, except China. I don't know. China's
Not China, Russia, I guess, or North Korea, or
well, Russia really
Iran.
is, that's that's the part I don't get. Like, think about like Trump, the way Trump was treated, right? When Trump came in and started exposing some of this crap because he didn't care, he wasn't part of the establishment. They made him out to be the super villain, right? Now you have people that were saying Russia's been dormant. I even believe that. I believe Russia was just kind of playing possum, building their stuff. But you talk to a lot of people and they say Russia really isn't a threat anymore.
They don't seem like it. I don't know if
Right,
that's
because they're not financially stacked. Maybe they got the nukes, but they're
yeah. Other
too.
than that, I mean, their army nukes are kind of a big thing.
Well, sure, but I
But
mean,
the army doesn't look like it's much.
right. And they always said their economy's struggling. So if they weren't such a threat, why do we have supervillain number one now that we can't even contain? And like you said, if we wanted this over, why
Oh,
didn't we
we could
just
end
get
it.
it over?
Yeah. When they had that 40-mile long convoy, them A-10 pilots were drooling. They're like, "Oh, come on, please, 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 let
Right.
me go, let me go." That would have been a walk in the park for them. They would have loved to
And
just
even then,
burden.
they get on Trump, and there's probably some, Trump held up aid to Ukraine or something, but he's also the one that got in those missiles, didn't he? The javelins. But anyway, so the Russians were lining up, and everybody believed they were coming. In fact, I saw a video of Biden talking about this happening years ago. Years ago, dude. I'm talking about when he wasn't senile and he looked like a younger guy. He was talking about this stuff. So he knew this stuff would happen. You can't tell me these people didn't know this stuff was going to happen.
Yeah, it just surprises me that of how bad their military really is. I thought they were actually maybe
Dude,
that's all propaganda again.
it's getting to the point right now, dude. I'm telling you right now, I fought for this country. I love this country, but I can't proudly walk into another country and tell everybody America is the best country in the world. I mean, there were people that were saying that, but they're using it for social justice crap and all that. We are so corrupt. I mean, so corrupt to the core that I'm embarrassed, dude. I'm really embarrassed.
What country is better?
I don't know. Maybe you got some of those Scandinavian countries that just mind their own business.
Switzerland. They're not even neutral right now.
Right. But Finland, Sweden. I mean, maybe those guys.
What's Belarus's deal?
They're Russian.
Are they?
Yeah, they've always been Russian. They're a puppet of Russia.
I mean, obviously, 'cause that's like the only. There's like 5 countries that are with Russia. I was like Belarus. I didn't even know. I mean, obviously I never knew where they were. And I know they're just northern Ukraine, but I guess they border Russia too. But
Yeah. Well,
never.
obviously, like I said, some of these countries used to belong to the old,
It's
Soviet
like
Union.
yeah, but you don't hear about them being communist like Russia, like China, like North Korea, like Iran. You don't hear about Belarus and the conversation with those
Well,
type of countries.
here's the funny part, and this, I mean, like I said, I don't know what I believe anymore because it's hard to believe who's telling the truth anymore. But people said even though Putin was KGB and all that, he didn't like communism. He grew up in a more Western part of Russia, when a more Western civilized part, where he was more in favor of the Western civilization type. So he didn't like communism, even though he's a dictator or whatever. But the country's run by the oligarchs, right? All the rich Russian people.
What's America run by?
That's what I was just going to say. How is
Oligarchs,
it different?
probably. Yes, it's run by the
How is
rich
it
people
any
here.
different?
What do we call them here? We call them the top 1% in America. We don't call them oligarchs. We call them the top 1%.
So what separates us from Russia?
Nothing. Water. 53 miles. The Bering Strait.
In theory, yes, I get that. I mean, I get that. My point though is our Constitution. Our Constitution really separates us because the forefathers that wrote this thing were like, holy cow, we need to do something to protect it. I mean, that's why we're not a democratic republic, or we're what are we, a constitutional republic? And we're not a democratic country. We're a constitutional republic. And that Constitution was so awesomely written, and we've made amendments as we've grown and things changed. But the fact that there are people trying to tear it down, like we spoke before, the morons that tell Americans they don't need guns, or what do you need guns for? And then they're praising the Ukrainians citizens for getting guns and fighting. What?
I don't have to go to the arms room to get my gun. I don't have to go get my gun from the government. I already have. No, I don't. Never mind. I don't have anything.
Right.
And I think that's all the time we have for this episode, Jim. So,
actually,
before I dig a hole any farther,
man, you might as well just run the show because all you're going to do is stop me from venting. So we will call it here. And thanks, Nate, for joining. Thanks for the discussion. I wish we could have some more people on here, especially those who like to talk. But until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin already. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.